Hello, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me here from the Austrian Airlines launch in Vienna, Schwechat, where I just returned from SAP Insiders conference held here in Vienna. A key event, I would even call it, maybe it's the Sapphire Europe, which SAP doesn't do anymore. They do more smaller events, but with over 1,500-1,600 attendees, definitely will be a Sapphire-like event organized by SAP Insider. We focus on a number of different SAP products, HANA, BI, GRC, HR. I'm sure I forget a few of them. So lots of different hashtags follow the hashtags of an edition of 2016. Overall, I would say a good event. Obviously, being here in Vienna had a more Austrian and Eastern European influx of attendees. So, but that's the usual thing when you have an event in Vienna. What are my three takeaways of the event as usual? Let's start why I was here. On the SAP HANA platform, which finally has made it out of obscurity to a certain point on the SAP side. Look at my Sapphire from Orlando covering reports there, which finally was mentioned in the keynotes, most prominently by Bernd Leukert, as the examples around the three key scenarios that SAP keeps positioning. It's the extension of the existing apps, it's the integration of other applications, and building from scratch new applications. I had the pleasure to be in a panel together with an SAP customer, Owens, Illinois, representative from Belgium, who shared their integration strategy, which they're using from a compliance perspective all the way to Latin America. Interesting use case for the integration example of HANA Cloud Platform. And with Bernd Schweichert, who is, I think, serving the product management role out of Waldorf. So interesting panel, very long session, 75 minutes, where in Europe things are being thoroughly looked at it. We talked about the use case scenarios, and like usual over here in Europe, the main questions which come up are around security of the cloud, which can be, I think, largely addressed. Security concerns are always valid, have to be taken seriously, but most customers by now realize that the cloud vendors who manage these data centers for a living have a better security track record than most of them, if they're very honest, right? And we know the inflection point actually was the CIO of Capital One, who last year at Amazon's reInvent event in November was on stage in the public keynote, not behind closed doors, and this happened many times before, saying that the Amazon data centers are safer from an operation security perspective than the Capital One data center. So publicly mentioned what was said before, only under closed doors, a good step from that perspective. And then usually the questions are why to move there, how to move there. We talked about that. Definitely progress on that side, but overall feels like SAP is educating customers on this very important capability, which everything takes time. Not everybody makes it to Sapphire in Orlando. So good to see that addressed. Then the keynotes were rivaling from the HANA and BI side. So there was a significant push from SAP on the BI product side. Recently, second takeaway, recently renamed to Business Objects under that umbrella. Good or bad, see my Sapphire report on that. Different dashboards for different use cases, a keynote which tried to show from different perspectives, just highlighting the CHRO here for time reasons, how things are looking on field glass perspective, from inside a different dashboard to see how our contract is performing. Maybe not explained so well, but fine, let's gloss over that from that perspective. Not every company can relate to contract. This is important as field glass is and that functionality is. And we saw finance dashboards, we saw operations dashboards, we saw planning examples, all under different look and feel, which is not so much SAP style or probably challenging. The crowning end, of course, what else could it be? It was the digital boardroom of SAP, showing the latest capability similar like at Sapphire. Third takeaway, very shortly had a chance to meet with David Ludlow from the SuccessFactors organization. There, the main focus, nothing new really since the analyst day. Check out my blog post on that, but really the interesting thing is specifically done for Europe is a vertical extension or localization extension, you could call it, to Employee Central with apprentice management, something which does not exist in North America and other parts of the world. But Europe has an elaborated apprentice system of 2-3 years where young people learn a profession. And to solve that successfully is an example, a good example of how SAP, with the awareness of different European countries coming from Europe originally, is pushing the envelope further in terms of localization. tidbit very quickly on the S4HANA side, almost as important to mention. With the current releases coming out these days, from an SAP perspective, SAP has eliminated every missing piece of functionality which would deter a bread and butter SAP R3 customer from moving to S4HANA Finance. And the biggest thing was adjustable variable internal transfer rates. It was the one holdout. We talked about this already back at Sapphire. It's always an important inflection point when a software vendor goes from old product to the new product, like what S4HANA is. Kudos to SAP for acknowledging that. And reaching functional parity between the two, which takes away lots of the objections of even looking at the product. So congratulations for SAP to resist parity. We'll now have to look how the adoption will be on the customer side, right? With about now 120, 160 customers live or something. We'll have to see how that keeps going and going from here. So overall, my point of view, good event for SAP, good attendance, important event in SAP, lots of SAP people here, despite not being an SAP event, but organized by Vispubs, I believe, another brand name of SAP Insider. Very good hands-on time. My recommendation would be for customers to look at these events. You can get hands-on time with SAP medium-level management, not even the top management. Medium-level management often knows more hands-on on the products, as it's the case. So definitely valuable time, which could be spent. So I encourage you to check out more of the SAP Insider events if they come closer to you to get a better understanding of where SAP is heading and what's happening in the SAP products. So way too long. Greetings from Vienna. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.